Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Common Sense Africa podcast. I remain your host, Ugo Chukwunwokoro. Let me give you a little bit of my history, so that when I start talking about these issues, you will know why I'm talking about it. Uh, I am a former deputy mayor of the city of Newark, New Jersey, where I served for over 5 years as the deputy mayor in charge of international relations and diaspora affairs. So why do I say this? I say this to let the people know that I know a thing or two about good governance. So on that note, I want to talk about the coming election in Nigeria, the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. So folks, we all know how this particular administration, how the Buhari administration has performed. And we know that is not the kind of government that we want to see in Nigeria. This particular government, Buhari's administration, has failed woefully. Insecurity in Nigeria is like never seen before in Nigeria. It's as worse as ever. When Boko Haram started during Jonathan's administration, people talked about, oh, Jonathan doing this, Jonathan doing that. But Buhari came and insecurity, the activities of Boko Haram, bandits, and Fulani herdsmen is now spread all around Nigeria. That no part of Nigeria now is safe for anybody. So that shows you that this government, this Buhari government, has failed woefully. So because it's done that, Nigerians must be very careful as you choose the next president of Nigeria. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to look at the three front-runner candidates, starting with Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar was Obasanjo's vice president, ran against Buhari the last time and failed. Atiku Abubakar was part of the arrangement that said the presidency should go to the south. But Atiku Abubakar did not respect that. He continued to contest, and finally, he is also now the candidate, the flag bearer of PDP. So Atiku Abubakar, his boss, Obasanjo, that worked closely with him, that supervised him as his vice, said that Atiku Abubakar is probably the most corrupt Nigerian that he's ever seen. That he's very corrupt. So if Obasanjo, his boss, somebody that worked closely with him, would say that, who am I to disagree? Now, the next candidate is Ahmed Tinubu. Ahmed Tinubu, I don't want to talk about his abilities or but let's look at his fitness for the office. Here is a man that is visibly shaken, visibly showing signs of early Parkinson's. Here is a man that even when he's holding ordinary people, he's shaking. And if it is true that he has Parkinson's, then it's a big problem. It's a big problem because it's a degenerative disease. It can only get worse. No matter how you control it with medicine, it still gets worse. So it starts with shaking and it continues to shake, and then there's imbalance. You'll be inability to stand and work and do stuff. And then it affects his ability to speak. And then it affects his mental ability to articulate. And of course, to be coherent. Is that the person that you want to risk, being the next president of Nigeria? So that is with Tinubu. I'm not getting into his ability. I'm not getting into whether he's corrupt or whether he's this. But between him and Atiku Abubakar, you Nigerians, you saw how they both emerged as flag bearers of their both parties. That they spent money, they bought delegates to get to where they are. Then the next person is Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi, I've researched, I've tried to get things about him. The only thing I found out is that they said he's a very stingy person. He doesn't like to spend money. I don't know whether that Nigerians will see it the way I see it. that is a good thing. That's actually the kind of person that Nigeria needs now. But other people say, oh, because he doesn't like to spend money, this and that. That his stinginess. That is what Nigeria needs. It sounds like somebody that is very prudent, and they say he rather saves the money and all that. It's a good thing. So here you have. I don't want to delve more because the other things that I found about Peter Obi are actually things that are very positive. So I'm not going to dwell so much about Peter Obi because it's only going to be positive things that I'm going to be talking about. So I don't want people to see it like I'm endorsing Peter Obi. That is my personal decision. But on this show, we just want to present it as is. So I'm going to leave Peter Obi like that. So you Nigerians, you be the judge. Okay? So, but what I've just said, the difference between these three candidates is very glaring. So, but use your decision to make. You are the ones that will decide who should be the next president of Nigeria. Who amongst the three that can unite? It's very important that can unite Nigeria. This election is actually the most important election in the history of Nigeria. So Nigerians must take it very serious. They must take it very serious. You know. So just like George Orwell said, and I'll quote here. I'm quoting George Orwell. He said, "A people that elect corrupt politicians, imposters, thieves, and traitors are not victims but accomplices." So you don't want to be an accomplice. You want to be one of those people that will bring the change that Nigeria desperately needs. So you must do something. You must do something. And I'll take it further. Albert Einstein said, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing something." So Nigerians, you must do something. If you want change, you must do something. First, go and get your PVC. First, make sure that everybody that is of the age to vote has a PVC. And then, make sure that they vote. People have nicknamed these candidates as Wazobia. Nigerians, please, you must reject ethnic and religious sentiments. You must reject that. The poor man in the north has more in common with the poor man in the south and in the west and all the other poor men in Nigeria than they do have with the politicians and the elite. So the poor man in the north must unite with the poor men from the south, from the west, and from other parts of Nigeria, and all together they will fight their common enemy. Their common enemy is the Nigerian politician, the Nigerian elites. They are the ones that are corrupting the system. They are the ones that are making it hard for your kids to go to school. They are the ones who are making it hard for you to get your pension. They are the ones that are making it hard for you to have good roads, water, electricity, and all that. So they are the common enemy. The only thing you have in common with the politicians in Nigeria, the Nigerian elite, is their ethnic group and their religion. That is not enough. You have more in common with the poor people, with other people that are suffering. So you guys must unite. So you must reject ethnic and religious sentiments and look at the individual that have your common interest at heart. The difference between these candidates is very glaring, but you must make the decision with your conscience. Your future is at stake. The future of your children, is at stake. So those area boys that are busy, we saw on the news yesterday, stoning people that are going to register to vote, to acquire their PVCs. You must stop this nonsense. How many times will you throw stones? You threw stones 8 years ago, 4 years ago, 16 years ago, 12 years ago. And this is 2022. For the election in 2023, you are still throwing stones at people, trying to destroy people that are doing their civic duty. How long will you continue to throw stones? Ask yourself, how many of those Nigerian elites, those Nigerian politicians that you're probably throwing stones to protect their interests, how many of their children are there with you throwing stones? Shouldn't you be working for a system that will protect your own interest? Ask yourself this. This is just common sense, folks. You have to do your part. A great philosopher once said that the people get the kind of government or leadership that they deserve. If you don't do anything, you get whatever that is thrown at you. So please, you must. This election, like I said, is probably the most important election in our history. We must ensure, make sure that love prevail. Love must prevail. The only reason why Nigeria is still struggling up to today, is because we do not show love to each other. We do not show love to each other. If we begin to show love to one another, Nigeria will make enormous progress. And until we begin to do that, nothing is going to happen. Okay? We must stop seeing each other from the lenses of ethnic and religious eyes. We must stop that, and just see each other as Nigerians, as fellow Nigerians. And then we begin to develop common sense of purpose. And then we begin to choose the right leaders. Look at the enormous progress that little Rwanda has made. When after the Hutsus and the Tutsis war, they went back and did reconciliation and did assessment and everything, and they found out that one way to move forward is to stop seeing each other as tribal, components and begin to see each other as Rwandese. Look at the progress they've made. So Nigerians, we must stop seeing each other as ethnic this, ethnic that, and all that, and see each other as Nigerians. That way we can make progress. This election will either make or break Nigeria. So, folks, devote this election of ethnic and religious sentiments. You must reject ethnic and religious sentiments and work together for common purpose, common interest. You, the poor man, you who can't send your kids to school, you who is having a problem getting your pension, you who cannot travel safely around Nigeria, you have a lot in common with the man in the north, the man in the south, the man in the west that is going through the same thing. So we must team together. We must work as a team, to get rid of these folks that are holding us down, these folks that are using religion and ethnicism to divide Nigeria. So the youth is in your hands, to make sure that everybody goes, to the polls, register to vote. And to all those brothers and sisters that are agitating for division, to members of IPOB, ESN, members of the Odua Nation, members of Arewa Nation, those that are asking for Nigeria to divide. I know, I've said it on this show as well before, that if Nigeria is not working, we might as well part ways. I want to appeal to you all to calm down. Let's give this election a chance. Everybody, members of IPOB, ESM, please, go and register to vote. Give it a chance. One more chance this time around. Let's all of us try to vote. Let all of us try to make sure that our votes count. So I plead to each and every one of us. Everybody, please, sheath your swords and register. Get your PVCs, register to vote, and let's give it one more chance. Let's give Nigeria one more chance. I think there's a glimmer of hope amongst the candidates if we team together and make sure that all these recycled folks, all these old folks, all these people that are holding Nigeria down, we make sure that they don't come to office. We make sure that they don't make it. But because if you don't vote, if you sit aside, it's going to be business as usual. Those people that they buy, those people that they pay money will go and vote again for them. So let's create the awareness. Let's make sure that this does not happen. Your future, our future, the future of our children are at stake here. This election is too important for anybody to ignore it, for whatever reason. I understand people are agitating for one thing or another, but please, I beg you in the name of God, I beg you, my fellow Igbos, in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama, please, folks, let all of us, please suspend Suspend the agitation for now. Every one of us, calm down, calm your tempo down. Let all of us go and register, but register to vote. And as we vote, we know these individuals. We know the individuals that we want them to represent us. Let us go and vote for those individuals. Let us go and empower them. Because if you empower them, then you can hold them responsible. You can hold them to give you accountability for their action. But if you don't vote, if you sit at home and then others vote, you don't have no moral reason to hold anybody accountable because you didn't elect them. So I appeal to each and every one of us, whether you're Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Efik, Edo, it doesn't matter. Please do go register to vote. Get your PVC. And then as you vote, please reject money politics. Reject being bought. If you're bought, then you don't have any reason to complain. If you're bought and you do what they said you should do after giving you money, then you do not have any reason to complain. But what must be done is this: keep your eyes on the bigger picture, your future, my future, the future of your children, not on the small thing, not on the little money that they've given to you. The delegates that so now got money that have gone back, especially those in the south, succeeded in making themselves victims of kidnappers and armed robbers. Is that the kind of country that you want to live? You want a country whereby everybody will benefit from the little things, the basic amenities. Not just the rich folks. The rich folks will live in fenced houses. Where people can move freely. You're busy throwing stones at people that are going to do their civic duties by going to acquire their PVCs. Year after year, every 4 years, you position yourself to throw stones. Is that what you're good for? You want somebody, a leader that will think about, a leader that will create jobs, a leader that will give you, the things, add value to your life. That is what we need to do. So, folks, it is not about Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, or whatever. It's not about that. You must reject that. I see that sentiment building now. That somebody even said that, why don't Atiku should be the president of the North? Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu should be the president of the West, while Peter Obi should go and be the president of the South. If that's what the country wants, but we must do it in a way that it makes sense. Get your PVCs. That is not what is happening now, because that has to happen via a referendum, but there's no referendum. So we are looking for president of Nigeria. So let's focus on that. Let's not be distracted by ethnic and religious sentiments. We want a steady hand. We want a steady hand that can unite the country. Nigeria needs to be united. Nigeria needs a president that can preach love and show love as well. You know all these candidates. When you assess them, let your conscience assess them. Do not let material things, who is going to give you more money, who's not going to, or what. Don't base it on that. The more money they give to you, the increase in the chances of stealing your money when they become president, because they have to recoup that money that they're giving to you. It's common sense. So the more they spend on you, the more you will be denied of those basic necessities that the government should be providing for you. Because as soon as they get into office, they want to recoup the money that they've stolen, the money that they've given to you to buy you. So you don't want such candidates. You don't want individuals that will give you money. You are better than that. So do not see your brothers from different ethnic groups as different from you. We are all suffering now. Now that there's so much insecurity in the land, everybody's suffering it. Everybody's suffering it. No part of Nigeria is safe anymore. No part of Nigeria is safe anymore, because of the failure of this particular government. And you definitely don't want anybody that will come to continue, especially those that praise President Buhari and his government, that claim they want to continue. So fear, God forbid, nobody's going to continue where this government will stop. We must change. So do not be fooled. Do not be deceived by these individuals. So assess your candidates properly. Know what it is that they are coming to do. Look at their manifestos. Look at their vision for the country. Look at, what they say. And then what they do. Try to match it, whether they reconcile. They will say one thing just to get your vote. And then they turn around and shut you up by giving you money. And then they do a different thing. So you must assess your candidates very well and look at the individuals that have your interest at heart. Again, like I said, the poor man in the north has more in common with the poor man from the south and from the west. So you all should team together. The Nigerian youth, you are the ones that are not getting jobs. The elite, the politicians, their kids are well placed. Their kids are not on the road throwing stones. They are not on the road fighting and being part of the thugs that they use for election. So I appeal to you, my fellow Nigerians. This election is too important, probably the most important election in the history of Nigeria. The election that will either that will decide whether Nigeria remains as one or Nigeria divides. So everybody must reject ethnic and religious sentiments and assess these candidates for their worth, for their character, for their antecedents, for the things that they do and their styles, what it is that you look at them. It is not a rocket science to see which amongst all these candidates, especially the three that I mentioned, which amongst them will unite Nigeria, which amongst them will bring a change for all in Nigeria. So folks, I appeal to you. I say, look at these candidates. Look at every one of them. Look at every one of them. Assess them properly with good faith. Don't just look at them, oh, he's Igbo. No, don't do that. Don't vote for him. Oh, he's Yoruba, my Yoruba guy. Or he's Hausa or Fulani. Don't do that. The Fulanis have been holding power for years. What have they done for the other fellow Fulanis that are poor, that are continue to be poor? So it's not about where the candidate is from. It's the ability of the candidate to deliver, to do the job. So you must access candidates for their abilities to deliver, not ability to share public money. No, put money into public good and everybody benefits. Everybody would have access. If you do good things, everybody will benefit from it. So folks, on that note, I remain the host of Common Sense Africa podcast. And like I said, I am a former deputy mayor of the city of Newark, New Jersey, USA. So I know what it means to run a responsible and responsive government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So I can say a thing or two about it because I've been part of it. And when you have a good government in place, everybody benefits. All the people will benefit from it. So Nigerians, I appeal to you in the name of God to please, for God's sake, stop hating each other. Stop looking at each other with ethnic and religious eyes. Look at each other as brothers and sisters, as fellow Nigerians, with common interests, common sense of purpose. And with that, if we do that, we can bring a change. We can tell them that money politics no longer, works in Nigeria. That is, the people who decide who their leader is. I bet you folks, if you vote your conscience and vote the right leader, he will be truly accountable to you. He will make sure that you benefit from the government. But these folks, they know the reason why they don't respond to you is because they pay money, because they rig themselves in. So when they pay, who are you to ask them to give account? Who are you to ask them to do the right thing when they bought you over? So on that note, folks, again, I pray to God to protect us, to give us the best candidate, to help us, regardless of how they try to scuttle the process, how they try to rig, or how they try, to distract the people. Now on the news, you see folks going to INEC office in groves to register to vote, only to get there that the INEC officials are not attending to them. So why shouldn't there be availability of the materials for people to register? Everybody should, the INEC should make it a lot easier for people to register. At the very least, INEC should also extend the deadline, because it appears that at the rate they are going, people might not finish registering before the deadline comes. So INEC, please, this is an appeal to you, increase or extend rather the deadline, so that everybody that wants to register to vote will register to vote. On that note, God bless you, and God bless Nigeria, and by God's grace, we will really elect a president that would serve the interest of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.